What are the benefits of nuclear energy to Texas and to the area around Comanche Peak?
Well, there's really three answers to that question. First, it's a very safe resource. We've been operating these plants for almost 20 years at our Comanche Peak site, and those plants have been operated safely by a number of workers come to work every day to make sure that it is safe. Secondly, it's very dependable. We need a dependable source of power in Texas to meet our growing power needs. It's a very fast-growing state, and so these types of resources will be very important for the future of Texas. Next, it's an emission-free resource. Now, very few resources out there are this dependable and emission-free. Now, recognize that we're all trying to keep the environment clean and safe for everyone, and it's very important to find these type of resources to meet our future needs, and nuclear does just that. Finally, it's a huge economic benefit, not only to the local area, but also to the state of Texas. What you'll find is that we believe that there'll be $12 billion of economic benefit just to Somerville County, but about $22 billion to the entire state of Texas. Now, not only will there be jobs that are created during the construction phase, but there are hundreds of permanent jobs that will be created there in the local area as well.
Who will pay for the proposed new nuclear units at Comanche Peak?
I think it's most important to see that there's been a significant change in the electric market in Texas from what we had before. Back in the past, in the 80s, when most of the nuclear plants were built in Texas, the risk associated with the cost of these units was borne by customers, meaning they ended up having to pay for rather significant rate increases for their power whenever these units came online. That's not the case today. Since the inception of our competitive market in Texas, now those risks are borne by investors, not by customers. And so as these units come online, there will not be a rate impact for our customers.
Why is more nuclear power a good deal for NRG customers?
When I think about nuclear power and the customers, I actually think about three separate issues. First is I think a lot of people are interested in low carbon or no carbon technology, and nuclear fits that classification. There are actually no emissions that come from a nuclear power plant. So first of all, I'd argue that it's a no carbon technology. The second thing I think should be important to customers is the baseload nature of it, as opposed to other low carbon or no carbon technologies that tend to be more intermittent in resources. And lastly, I would say that the other choices right now for baseload seem to be natural gas, and natural gas is a very volatile commodity. You know, over the last 18 months, natural gas has traded anywhere from $5 a million BTUs all the way up to $14 a million BTUs, and that volatility passes through in retail prices. I think retail prices last year were quite a shock for customers in Texas. So the very stable nature of nuclear fuel and nuclear power tends to take a lot of volatility out of the market as well.
Why is nuclear power better than investing in more renewable energy for baseload electricity?
You know, when I think about renewables, typically most people think about wind, they'll think about solar, and those really aren't baseload technologies. And oddly enough, the wind patterns in West Texas, where most of the wind is installed right now, is a very off-peak resource that tends to blow at night. On the hottest days in the middle afternoon, you get very little wind production out of West Texas right now. So I really don't consider that a baseload technology. Solar has the benefit of actually being a on-peak technology. You get your most solar output during the middle of the day when the sun's shining, but it's really not a baseload technology either. So when people talk about low carbon, no carbon technologies and talk about baseload at the same time, it's kind of a mixed bag. I really think nuclear is the only technology that fits both the qualification of being baseload and being no carbon all at the same time.